Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500. Welcome back to another video on Loopy Harold. So we haven't done anything since the last one, where we're still trying to get that nut undone. So let's get into that straight away. So, where are we? If you remember from the last video, that stubborn nut. So I bought several different types of spanner. They're all over on the car at the moment. To try and get the damn thing off. I've also bought nut splitters. I've had a little go, and I still can't get the damn thing to budge. I had a little bit of more luck. I bought a longer, in fact, let's show you. Let's get that torch out of the way. So I bought a longer 13mm spanner with an adjustable ring spanner ratchet on one end. I also built one of those which has got like quite a big hole in there, which will be big enough for the stud. Can't get that on. I can get the open end of this on, and I actually put some plus gas on it. I don't know if you're familiar with plus gas, but it's like, what I've done with it, here it is. Plus gas is like WD-40 on steroids. So I put some of that on this morning, and it's for stubborn nuts, rusted on nuts, that sort of thing. Got some of that on. I managed to turn it back. So a lot of time to crack nuts, you turn them back the other way, the Titan way, which will then crack the rust off once you've used that sort of stuff. So I managed to get it to go a little bit. Let's get the torch on it. A little bit back the other way. I've also had the nut splitter on it, and I think what I've done with the nut splitter, I think the nut splitter has bypassed the nut, and it's actually taken a bit of the end of the stud off, because that stud now looks shorter than the other stud. Look at that stud on the right there, and then look at the stud with a bolt on it, with the nut on it. It's shorter. So I think I've actually cut the stud. So obviously there is enough stud there for it to do up. It's whether I've buggered the stud up as well, and a nut won't actually do up on it. So it may even need a new stud. I'm again trying the spanner to try and move it. I just don't think it's going to work. So my other idea, I mean, a lot of you have said, most of you have said the inlet manifold, and of course multi-ECU scan points to the inlet manifold. One or two of you have said coil pack. Also, what I noticed when I was using the nut splitter, the hose popped off of there, which is, I don't know what I've done with it, which is here now. So that I did obviously have a clip on it, that hose, but it just popped off. So I don't know if, I think the socket wrench was leaning against it, but it wasn't up that tight. So I'm wondering if that was also possibly loose, which obviously goes into the inlet manifold, which would cause an air seepage. So, you know, visibly from what I can tell from the front, there's nothing wrong with that inlet manifold, but it's very, very frustrating this. So what I'm having another go to see if I can get that bolt undone. If I can't do it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to change the plugs. I'm going to change the injectors. I've got another set of injectors, so I'm going to change the injectors. And even I've got another coil pack. I'm going to change the coil pack as well, just to see if I can get anything else to do with it. Otherwise, if I can't get this damn nut undone, I think I'm just going to have to get it to a garage and get them to do it. I don't know what else I can possibly do. I can stick everything in the boot. Obviously they've got the tools to do it. I don't really want to start cutting off the manifold if there's nothing wrong with the damn thing, and even if I do cut it off, who's to say I can get a socket on it and still get it undone. So I'm completely at a loss at the minute as to what to do, but I'm gonna persevere. I'm not going to bother filming it, it's a waste of time, but I'm going to have another go at that nut, and then we'll come back. If I can't get it off, I'm going to put it all back together and change those bits that I mentioned, and then we'll see what happens. So I've sort of given up trying to get that off now, so I've put all the nuts back on. All of them put on, and I've taken the fuel rail off. Obviously the injectors are on there, so that's the fuel rail off of this car, and I've got the new one ready to put on. But I thought before I do that, a little bit more access with the fuel rail off, I'll change the plugs. I can get that in focus, that you can already see even though it's out of focus. Why is it not focusing? Bear with. There you go. Look at the state of that. Look at the actual state of that plug. So now that could be down to the overfueling due to the air that's getting in, if there is indeed air getting in. So it could well be down to that. But who knows? So as it was suggested that, you know, it could be a plug. It could be the fuel, it could be the injectors, could be the coil pack. I'm going to change them all and see what happens. I'm not confident that it's going to make a blind bit of difference due to the MES error, but we'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to get on and change these and we'll come back. So there's the 4 old plugs. As I say, they're as black as anything, and the actual things themselves are rusty. So these look like really old plugs to me. What do you think? The fact that they're all rusty like that as well. I mean, that doesn't explain an air seepage problem, of course, but the fact that they're really rusty says to me that they're really old. As I say, the blackness could be just from the overfueling due to the air seepage, but they are well past it, and the gaps are quite big as well in them. So I carefully changed the plugs. If you remember the problem we had with the last car of this same colour, that which turned out to be a misaligned plug, not done by me, I hasten to add, but it was misthreaded, which caused problems. So I've been very careful, done them up by hand. I've also used my magnetic, oh god, I'm treading on stuff now, no wonder the car don't work properly. I use this as well, very carefully, and they're all done up properly. Pipes being put back on. I've just got to do that thing up, and I'm going to put the newish fuel rail on that's obviously got the injectors in it. So I'm going to put you on time lapse to do all these bits and pieces, because there's no point showing you all this stuff. I'm not really convinced it's going to make a blind bit of difference, but one of the reasons I'm doing this, apart from the fact I want to get it done, is if I do obviously have to take it to a garage to get this sorted out one way or the other, I need to be able to drive it to a degree. You know, I don't know whether it's going to be drivable or not. I don't even think, it was a struggle getting it up the driveway the other day like that, so I don't think it will. It might have to be trailered there if that's the case. But if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But you know, it might work. It might work doing what I'm doing now. But the other reason that I want to be able to at least move it is because I'm actually looking at another car next week, and which will have to come here. So yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with this one at the moment, but we'll see anyway. But back to this one, I'm going to put you on time lapse, and we'll take you off time lapse once I've got everything back on, and then we can give it a test start and see what happens. So new plugs. I've got another coil pack to put on. I've got the throttle body that I've already changed anyway. The sensors have all both been changed on this one anyway. That's about it, I think. Obviously with the coil pack goes the new leads as well, so let's see what happens. Okay, everything's back on. Now I'm going to try and start it up, see what happens. So let's just go over quickly what we've done. So I've put the bolt the nuts and the bolts back onto the manifold. They're all tight. I've put a new coil pack on. I've put new plugs in. I've put a new, second-hand coil and leads and second-hand throttle body, all of which I know are good. Obviously the plugs are brand new. Plugged it all back in. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to put the microphone down while I go and plug it in. Well, it's actually running, although I've got check engine come up on the dash, but it is actually running and not misfiring and so on. There's quite a lot of grey smoke coming out the back. Let's just take you around there. Quite a lot of smoke coming out the back. Let's try and give it some revs. I think it's too rich. Give it some revs. My foot on the accelerator. It's not doing anything. Barely. So I'm going to plug it in, see what Diagnostics tells me. But it is actually running. It does seem to be rather a lot of black smoke coming out the back though, or grey smoke. So to me, that I think it's rich. Let's turn it off, and we'll get the computer and plug it in, see what it says, and then we'll plug it in with the engine running. Intake pressure sensor error, which is a bit odd, which says it's present with the light on. We've also got motorised throttle spring, throttle potentiometer, and a motorised throttle, open circuit, intermittent. Interesting. So the throttle pedal can be changed. Bearing in mind it didn't come up with this before, so I don't know why. Actually, I think that's something to do with the throttle body. Yes, motorised throttle spring. That's open circuit. I got a feeling when I had it running, I've got a feeling that the power cable wasn't in properly. So I have taken it off and I tried it back in the old one, and it seems to click home better on the old one. But I'm going to try it again. I'm going to clear these errors and then start up and see what happens. So let's clear them. Actually, I want to let's clear these errors. I'm hoping when I start it up and I press the accelerator this time, it actually does something. So no fault codes. Okay, switch it off. Back on again. Oh, it's gone back to where it was. Still rough running. Well, at least the accelerator. Oh, is it? Hang on. It's not. It doesn't seem as rough. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, here it goes again. Yeah, no, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. Yeah, and now it's stalled. That's weird, isn't it? How weird is that? So when that electrical connection wasn't connected properly to the throttle cable, throttle body, it actually, although the accelerator didn't do very much, it actually started the engine, and the engine ran okay. And now it's running rough again like it was before, so I've actually got absolutely nowhere. Let's start up again. So there's no error codes come up again, even though it's running rough. Actually, let's disconnect. Let's start up. So I cleared the code, started it up, accelerating, it stalled, and then it's come up with that intake manifold air seepage again. So that poxy thing has got to have air seepage in it, but I can't get that damn thing off. I just can't get it off. So I cannot get that bolt undone. I don't know what to do now. It's got to be that intake manifold, hasn't it? It has got to be it. But why wasn't it running rough when the electrical connection wasn't connected properly to the Throttle body. That makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Well, I've discovered something a bit odd. I mentioned when I was sitting in the car that I don't think that plug was pushed on properly to the throttle body, and the engine seemed to be running. So what I've done is I've taken the electrical connection off completely, started the engine. Apart from this grey smoke coming out the back of the exhaust pipe, the engine is actually running fine. No dodginess whatsoever. If I put the plug back in, I'll get those errors. Now ordinarily I would have said that that was the throttle body, but I've changed the throttle body. I'm at a loss. Any ideas? Why would the engine run okay, albeit I think too rich, but not when it's plugged in? That's why I had no accelerator, because the throttle body electrical connection wasn't plugged in. When I've got it plugged in, it runs rough. I ain't got a clue. Any ideas? So I don't know if this is just the engine cooling down. I have sprayed some soapy water around the edges. Nothing bubbled. No change in engine note or anything. But I don't know if it's the engine cooling down, but I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. Noise. Absolutely bizarre. So I am a bit stumped, to be honest. So I'll go over it one more time. Electrical connection on, car runs like a dog. Take that electrical connection off, engine starts fine, runs fine. You haven't got any accelerator, obviously, because it's electronically controlled. But apart from the grey smoke, the engine's actually running fine. So that makes me think somewhere along that is causing the problem. But what? I've already changed the throttle body. Actually, I'm losing the track now. Which throttle body? I think that was the throttle body that was on it, which is quite dirty and horrible, but I don't know. Any ideas? What could be causing this? I mean, it is another indication that there's something, but you know, it could still be this inlet manifold, but it just seems really strange. Really strange. So I'm going to upload this video for 9 o'clock Sunday morning, because I know how you like your Sunday morning videos. In fact, it's getting dark now anyway, so I'm going to pack up now, and then I'll go back up. I'll go upstairs to the computer, and we'll carry on chatting about this. So here we are, back upstairs. Downloaded all the videos from today, and just thinking about it, just trying to figure out what on earth is going on here. I can only think, I do apologise if I'm repeating myself, but this is doing my Swede in now. But some of you have said coil pack, plugs, and I thought, I know it's not that, because multi-ECU scan has pointed towards the air seepage. It keeps coming up with that sensor error, and I've changed that sensor error. Changed the sensor. What's the chances that the one I've changed it to is going to be wrong? So I think if there is an air seepage, it's just throwing an error up on the sensor. So it's pointing towards the sensor. I don't know. I really do not know. But this has thrown a cat amongst the pigeons now by this electrical connection thing. This is really weird. Really, really weird. So I think, I don't know what to do. I'm either going to flog the damn thing as it is on eBay and see if I can make a couple of £100, or I'm going to take a saw to the manifold that's on there to make room for a socket on there to somehow get that damn nut undone. I can't use the nut splitter. I've already shortened the stud by using that. Don't quite know how that happened. I think the trouble is the blade on the nut splitter goes the entire depth of the nut splitter, so somehow, I don't know. I really don't know, because you would have thought it would have split the nut as well, but it hasn't. But so that that's not going to work. It fits in the hole, and it goes on, and I managed to keep it on, but I don't know, it just didn't work. So I'm either going to cut the 2 ports, one either side, get a socket on there, which will then give me the room. That's if I can get the socket on there, of course. I can't get the socket on there as it is, but you know, maybe I can get a spanner on there or something on there just to get the damn thing undone, and then I can. Battery tray's got to come out to get the other one undone. Battery tray and engine management, the ECU has got to come out as well just to get to that other bolt. But I know that I'll be able to, I've got access to that, so I'll be able to get that one out, no problem. I don't know what else to do. So I say I either got to do that, bite the bullet and do it, and hope it works, or just flog it as it is. But it's beginning to pee me off now. In fact, it's not beginning to pee me off, it's been peeing me off ever since I started to do it. Obviously it was a C car, i.e. a customer car, so as we know, someone's bought it from Copart. It's been repaired, and they obviously drove it, had problems with it. So it's done some miles since it was sold before. Something's gone wrong with it, and they've outed it through Copart again. They've done most of the hard work, putting it back together again. There is another issue, I think I've mentioned it before, that there's water leaking from what looks like it's coming from the water pump. Again, I haven't delved into that any further. I just want to get the damn thing running properly first. But there's no mechanical damage, because we know that, because with that throttle body's undone, the engine runs fine. We know that it's running rich. Presumably that's why there's grey smoke, but that's all down to all the connected things, I think. So the engine mechanically is fine. There's no clanking, there's no noise, it runs. So I don't know. What are your suggestions? What shall I do with it? Shall I out it on eBay, get a shot of it, move on to the next one, make a couple of £100 hopefully? Or shall I persevere and cut this bloody thing off? What do you think I should do? Answers on a postcard. So that's today's video. This one hopefully will be up for 9 o'clock Sunday morning, if all goes according to plan for the upload. One good bit of news I've got for you. Whilst I was starting the car this morning, not starting it as in ignition starting it, starting to work on it, not this morning, this afternoon, I had a text from the body shop. Beige Girl's bumper is finished, it's painted, £100. So I'm going to pick it up first thing Monday morning. Beige Girl will be complete on Monday. I've got to get the bumper on. Please God, let it fit. Not fit, sorry, please God, let it match. I'm going to go mad if it don't match. I'm sure it will. And then got to take it down to the tyre place and get the laser alignment done, and then finished, cleaned, photographed, up for sale. Thank God. But yeah, this one I don't know. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do with it. What do you think? Let me know. But again, as always, thanks for watching. If you, I don't normally moan as much as I have on this one. It's frustrating sometimes. It happens. It's frustrating though. But you know, thanks for watching. If you are a casual subscriber, please subscribe. Helps the channel. Earnings are going up on the channel. As you know, I am giving my first year's earnings on YouTube, the earnings from the YouTube channel, to a local dog and cat. Well, not a dog cat. It's a local animal charity, mainly dogs and cats, but they have other animals too. Next video I'll go through the figures of what we've earned so far, and it is going up on a monthly basis now. Not masses of money, but it will, over the year, so up until next July, every penny that's earned from the YouTube channel will be going to that charity, all in one go. I'm just holding on to it for the time being. So they'll get, I'm not even going to guess how much it's going to be. As I say, it's going up every month, but next video we'll go through what we've got so far since the channel was monetized back in July. Yeah, that's it. So end of this video, we'll see you in a few days time hopefully, and maybe another project coming up soon as well. So let's fingers crossed we can sort this out or get rid of it or something. But we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, see you soon.